you gotta instill discipline. You gotta do it early. And that's what I realized that a lot of parents say, tough love, tough love. And you're like, all right, I hear it, but do I really understand what it means? And tough love, man, is really a dad's love. Like, it's not a bunch of coddling. It's kind of working you into independency and discipline. And, kids don't have that discipline. That's not something they're going to have. And you got to realize it, or you're just going to be a very rough parent.
I love you, Daddy.
This is For Fathers, a podcast for fathers to uplift and encourage each other with the understanding that we are the forefathers of the next generation. I'm eloQuint, and it's my man Maurice Nash. Man, tell everybody what's up.
What's up, y'all? What's going on, man? It's a blessing to be up here, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Man, I really appreciate you hopping on, bro. Saw you at the gym. I ain't seen you in years, bro. And I was like, man, hey, you taught me how to kid. I said, hey, bro, we got to hop on a podcast. Because we had a good conversation there. And so I just wanted to chop it up with you, man. I really appreciate you taking the time. It means a lot.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me, man. Thank you, man. I know it's been some time, man, but it's always best to come back, man. It's always best to come back when we get to live life a little bit, and experience some stuff.
Yeah, man. So I was talking to you before earlier, and I was telling you how I ain't never really experienced, the pregnancy stage. And so I just want to know, like, from your experiences, man, how has fatherhood been? You got a 2-year-old. So how has fatherhood really been from pregnancy until now?
It's a grind. It's a grind, man. Every day is a grind. But I lean on everybody that I know who's a parent, friends, family, all of them, man. It's a grind just like the season, man. It's a grind just like the season. The season goes from you got your summer, you got your preseason, you got the regular season and the postseason, man. That's how pregnancy was. That's how coming to my son is. So for me, I get to spend every single day with my wife, man. Watch her go through the changes. Get to watch her game grow through the summer. You get to work on this, you get to work on that. Get to go through that 1, 2, 3 days every single day. So with that going on, you have to realize, like, okay, my wife's gonna be like this one day, she's gonna be like this one day. You may have one good workout in the morning, you may have one bad one in the afternoon. That's how her hormones are gonna fluctuate. That's how her body's gonna fluctuate. You know what I'm saying? So being able to watch the stomach grow, watch her go through that, watching her be able to be mobile, watching her be able to need my assistance, it's an amazing process for me. I wasn't deterred by it. I wouldn't feel like I was overwhelmed. It was just a blessing to watch someone that I love go through something so natural, man. And it was a beautiful thing to kind of watch, man. So it was a blessing from the moment we found out. It was a blessing from the day my son got here. Oh, man. When he got here, if you never had an epiphany in your life, man, I saw him and I was just like, I'm a dad.
Yeah.
And I had 9 months to prepare, and I still wasn't ready.
So did it not hit you? So for me, bro, the same thing happened for me. When I held her, I realized I was a dad. Like before that, it was like, oh, she's pregnant. Yeah, why might I be a dad? But when I held her, I was like, wow. So is that when it really hit home for you?
Yeah, man. My brother told me, man, I tell you, my village is crazy. They gave me all the insights. And I knew it was real. My brother called me when my niece was born. He called me probably about a few hours after. He just started hitting me with like life situations and what he wants to do next in life. I was like, what's going on with you, dog? He said, man, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. And I remember when I seen my son, I saw him. I was like, oh, snap. And then when they finally got him together, got to cut the cord, I got to hold him. I have a picture of me holding my son, man. In my mind, I'm just like, life is not the same.
Yeah.
I love that picture, man. It's in my phone to this. I love that photo, man. And it's amazing to have that moment just flip for you in 1 second. And I think my dad told me. My dad was like, he was like, man, just wait. Just wait, man. You'll see what I'm talking about. When you see your son, nothing's going to be the same, yo. Nothing's going to be the same, yo. Your mindset's going to just change. And that's exactly what happened. I saw him and I was just like, I'll do anything for you, dog. Anything.
And they didn't do nothing for you. They didn't even say nothing yet. It was just holding them. It's like, and you
Mindset.
say, and like you said, it's just like I had dad instincts. Like I remember
Yeah.
one time she spit up, my oldest spit up and it clogged up her nose. And she couldn't breathe. And without even thinking, snatched her up, glad and she was good. But I looked at it, I was like, like, how did I do that? like,
Exactly, man.
like it was that it just felt so
Beautiful.
natural, so natural.
Beautiful.
And
Man.
it's like,
Beautiful.
and it really is like a switch flips,
Yeah.
a flip of the switch, I should say, I guess. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like, wow, I'm a dad. And my oldest, I saw her being born on video chat because I was in Germany hooping at the time, and then I
Ooh,
came
that's
back
tough.
after that. So I came back, and I ain't never been back since. And the pressure having a kid at home, I was over there. I said, I love hooping, but I think I love my kid more.
Yeah, man.
You make you give up all your dreams. I swear, bro. I swear. That's why my dad said never get no kid because you
Oh,
gonna stop hooping. I thought he meant because my world's gonna be over. No, he really meant because you gonna love that kid so much that all you want to do is be around that kid. And
yeah, man.
I realized
You don't
that.
ever want to miss it, man. You don't ever want to miss it. But my dad used to tell me, he was like, the first 4 years, they're not going to really remember so much. They're not. He said, man, but it's still a blessing to kind of create those memories, man. But my mom used to tell me throughout the pregnancy for my wife, because my wife didn't really like being pregnant. Well, like it was bad. She just didn't want to do it. It's just uncomfortable for her. Well, I respect that. So it
Yeah,
was cool. So I did the best
but I
I
wouldn't
could.
want to do it.
Not at all. Not to go through that, man. But I was able to support her. Man, I'm gonna tell you how real it was to support my wife, man. This is crazy, but I don't like putting on lotion like that because it makes me sweat. Man, it sounds crazy. Hear me out. And you know I'm more light skinned too, so I can kind of get away from talking time. Let me tell you something crazy, man. My wife, man, we was in the hospital, man, and I was lotioning her down every single day, man, helping her take a shower, all of that stuff, yo. And my mom was just like, I can't really tell you what to do, but trust me, it's going to kick in naturally for you, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. And sure enough, man, like everything was just kind of innate, just kind of just happened. It was just like you saying when your daughter spit up, you just kind of went straight into a mode that you had no idea was there, man. You know what I'm saying? It was like doing a layup out here, doing them just all the
Hmm.
time, man. So it's like I just started doing stuff, man, kind of figuring it out. So with any experience, man, whether it's basketball, you just got to keep on going and you will figure it out slowly but surely. Like you was better from the seventh grade to the eighth grade to the ninth grade. And day by day, I just got better with being a parent, man. The crying, the hollering. I had to get used to that. When I got used to that, I was like, I got it. Everything else, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good. So it's a beautiful thing, man, to kind of go through the process of that, man. Trusting the process and everything in life, man, is beautiful. That's why we always compare everything to basketball, yo. Because basketball comes in seasons, man. Sometimes your team is hot and sometimes you're cold, bro. You know what I'm saying? You go from dropping 25 for 2 weeks and you can't even get up 10. It happens, bro. It happens, man. One day you can't shoot to save your life. And ain't nobody guarding you. And the next day, it just clicks, man. And that's how it was with pregnancy. And that's how it was when we first had our son, man. It was just going from day to day, adjusting to every day, the hormonal changes. I feel like we got to educate ourselves in what the women have to go through to be a lot more understanding. And that's why a lot of people who aren't together split. If you're not being understanding to one another, then that process is gonna be hard for her and it's gonna be harder for you. And most people just like, man, I'm not doing it. So one thing about not just kids, but as being a dad and a husband, man, you have to choose to do it every single day. I choose to be a husband and a father every single day. And when you don't make that, you just give up. That's what happens. And people just don't make that choice. So when you don't make that choice, man, you got single moms, you got single dads, and it's just so simple. All you have to do Just learn how to coexist with one another. Take it one day at a time. Not every day is gonna be good. Not every day after postpartum. Oh Lord Jesus. Oh man. Oh man.
You thought they had emotions before, right?
Man, I never dished out so many compliments in my life. Oh man. Baby, you the most beautiful thing I ever seen in my life. Baby, I love how you look. Baby, I love you, baby. But postpartum, man, you are going through changes, man. And I understand it, which is why I do my best to uplift and encourage. It's not gonna always work, man. But I know one thing, man. My wife is a tough one, so she worked through it. All the stuff that she wanted, she got her body the way she wanted to get it, man. She still looks beautiful to this day. So I'm blessed, man. I'm happy and blessed for that.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. But what I hear a lot, man, you had to humble yourself. I think it takes a big humbling to do all that, even with just to put lotion on the body too, and just to be the father every day. I mean, especially because you're doing something you don't like doing. Like you say, you don't
Yeah.
like doing it for yourself, but you humble yourself enough to do it for her because you love her that much, because he's that important to you, because being a father is that important to you. The whole experiences, and like you said, some people don't do that. They rather run from that
Yes.
opportunity instead
Yes.
of doing it. And you took on the challenge. So I believe what I heard when you were speaking was like humble yourself and it's not really about you. And
Humility, man. Oof.
yeah, and
Humility is something.
because I don't know, because we men, we selfish. We grew up selfish, the way we are raised, the way I don't know, it's a man's world. So I mean, it's just different, bro. It's just
Yep.
different. And so
Right.
now we with a woman with like we talked about before, ebb and flow of emotions, and it's like, do I really got to deal with this? like like I don't know about you, we used to always compare the basketball to being your wife. You ever said that? Like, this is my wife. And I think about basketball. Like, she ain't never. If I put the work in, she's gonna go back. She's gonna go in the hoop. Like, if I dribbled every day, my hands is gonna be tight. If I
Yeah.
worked on my game, it's gonna come back the same way I gave it to her. You know what I mean? If I didn't work on it, it ain't gonna work. And if I
Right.
worked on it, you gonna produce. It
Right.
ain't like that with women. So it's like it's like I'm used to my wife always working for me in that way. Like, but you say we have off days. I
Right.
understand that. But I
Right.
put the work in. I put the work in. Come on
Yeah,
now. You
man.
have to fall. You know, you miss five, you go five more. Next five gonna hit.
Yeah.
It has to. That's the nature of the game of the beast. But it ain't
Yeah.
like that. So you gotta
No,
really,
not
like
even
you say, you gotta understand them. You gotta
definitely.
understand them.
Definitely. You know what's funny, man? It's funny that you say that, yo, because my wife, man, she's so intelligent, man. That's a smart young lady right there, yo. That lady's so smart. She's a nurse, and I'm gonna give her the credit that she deserves and say that she did a great job in nursing school. The tests and everything, man. She did a great job, yo. She got through it even with the challenges in school, man. But I'm gonna say this. It's pretty funny. We spent a lot of time, and I know you did it more in college than you did in high school, because college you got more time to kind of deal with your coaches and stuff. That's kind of what you're there for. So when we was in college playing basketball, man, they compared college to life so much that it became natural to blend the two. And it's funny that when you get out of basketball, you compare your life to basketball. And it's just
Hmm.
like, yo, it's just funny how they kind of just coexist, especially for us as basketball players, man. And it's pretty
Hmm.
funny how my coach is like, man, one day the ball will start dribbling, man. Then what you gonna do? He said, man, this ain't hard at all. I'm trying to tell you, this ain't hard at all. And then when you realize you get in this life and you get this check, you be like, inflation is going stupid. Now, what am I doing with this?
I'm trying to buy a house.
You know what I'm saying? So you work for the state, right?
Hmm.
I work for the state. We get paid once a month. Man, there ain't nothing like having to really work through this money for 30 days, man. For 30 days. So I get it where we make everything so big in the moment, and you got to realize there are some things that are a lot more bigger than what we're going through at this time. So for
Hmm.
us as dads, us as parents, when we're going through some of these things, you're like, man, if I can make it through that, I can make it to this. But there's nothing like having to get tested on the 2 mile run. Man,
Hmm.
you got to make this time. And this time, you be like, oh God. And you going through struggling, man. We had to do hills and miles. Oh my gosh. So I know, I understand. You know what I mean? When it comes to raising our son, for me personally, yeah, the changes come. Yeah, it's annoying, but it's just like, man, there's a lot worse going on out here, man, than that happening. So it's okay. It's going to be all right, man. We just keep at it. It's not going to work the first time. It's not going to work the second time. It may not work the third, but it's going to work. We're going to get this thing to work. So I know for us, you know what I'm saying? Like, as athletes, you got that keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. And your results are going to show. They're definitely going to show. So,
because we know that end game.
yeah,
The end game
man.
was to go to high school, was to go to college, and then college was to go to overseas. And the end game with with a woman, you get with her, and then they get the marriage. And the marriage, you got the baby, and the baby got the family. And so we know the end game. So that was keeps us pushing. So, like we was talking about earlier, I said I always felt kind of crazy for relating basketball to life so much, but you just made it so simple by saying that's what coaches did. That's what they did. That's why it makes so much sense to me. So why can't you do that, bro? When I was playing basketball, all I did was just go harder. Like, just go harder. Like, stop quitting. Like, don't quit. It just
Yeah,
was simple. Like, just do it. Like, I didn't feel
right.
like working out every day, but guess what? I did it because I wanted the end goal. Like, I don't see why you don't understand that. When you talk to non-athletes, it just be like going way over there. I just be like,
They
bro,
have
like, it's
no
just
idea.
simple. It's just so simple. Just do it.
They have no idea to hear, hey, hit the baseline. Oh, no. Oh, man. Oh, no. Line drills. Oh, man. Golly.
You
They
gonna
don't.
run. You gonna run.
Like, come on, coach, man. We can get the play right, man. Don't worry about it. We got this. No, baseline. You're like, dang. You
And
know what I
don't
mean?
and don't lose a game you're supposed to win. Like, don't forget the wedding, the anniversary date.
Oh, my gosh. Man. Better mark that thing down, my boy. After so much time, man, then you hear people, man, they're going through 20, 30 years. And for me, man, I've only been married for 3, going on 4. And it's like the time flies just like your kids, yo. It's like, dang, I got married in 2020. It's already 2024. And we're almost in 2025 in a couple more months. Like, oh man, where's the
Mhm.
time going? So marriage is gonna fly, man, but it's all about what you put into it. Just like
Yeah.
basketball. You know what I mean? If you want to make it to the next level, if you want to make it to the next day in marriage, you got to keep putting in and putting in and putting in. It's never going to be all sunshines and rainbows, man. You're going to have them rainy days, man. You're going to get into it, but it's because you get into it doesn't mean that you weren't meant to be together. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So it's the same thing with your kids. Like my son, he's a mama's boy, man. He loves his mom. There's days that he don't care to deal with me at all, but I adjust to it. And and most of the time now he'll warm up to me, and it's all good. Still prefers his mom, but yeah, whatever. When my time comes, my time's going to come.
Yeah. When
So
you get
I'm
a
ready.
daughter, your time's gonna be there, bro. Because that that daughter love, bro, it is something serious.
I need one more son. I need one more son, please. Son me one more time.
I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at
Woo.
you.
I have enough nieces. I'm good. Give me a
Yeah.
son. Let's keep this Nash lineage going. Let's keep it going, baby.
I really hope I get twin boys next. Not really, really be done.
This is a
I
dangerous
really
man
be
right now.
done.
We're talking to. We're talking to a dangerous man right here. Twins. Oh God, she might have to shoot me. Oh no. Oh
But I
no.
love it though. Like you talking about the crying and stuff like that never bothered me. Never. Like like maybe at nighttime when you're trying to sleep, but like any other time, like it never bothered me.
I dodged a bullet on that. I dodged a bullet. It
You
took me
slept?
about. It took no, because I work night shift. So
Oh,
because I work night shift, I had my son from 11 to 5. That time frame, 10. I'll say 10 to 5, but every time my wife went to sleep, but 10, 11 to 5 was my time. You know what I mean? So I was up like playing games or watching TV or something. I was just up. I was good. So I didn't have to like get up, struggle. So my wife, she had a C-section. So I had to be a little bit more hands-on from time to time. And I loved it. I loved it. I didn't mind it one single bit, man. Like get your rest. I know a lot of moms that need rest. You went through a lot for 9 months. And then that day, you got to heal up. C-section, they take what an extra 2 weeks compared to you do it vaginally, whatever. So
really? Mm.
yeah, so they had her wait a little bit longer as far as like lifting weights and stuff like that. So night shift was mine, dog. It was good. I had it once like we got to a little routine. It was like clockwork. I'm like, all right, let me look at this monitor. You're gonna be up in about 30 more minutes. Let me get this bottle warmed up. So I was ready. You know what I'm saying? He wake up, change him, whatever. That wake him up every 2 hours of feed, man. Sleep, bro. You'll eat when you get up. You'll eat when you get up. Nah, but you gonna sleep, dog. We ain't messing up no sleep. Yeah,
Routines are important, bro. You gotta have a routine
yeah,
with kids, bro. You got to.
definitely. That's why I told you about that sleep training. I told him he was at the gym. I said, "Hey, man, the next one you have 4 months sleep training, boy. My boy, he's upstairs asleep right now.
That's love, bro.
Bedtime,
That's
8 o'clock.
love.
Out of here, dog. I'll holler at you in the morning. I'll see you later, dog. Hell yeah, man. Oh yeah. That's how it goes.
I'm definitely doing that next time. 'Cause I told you I let the baby sleep with me, and that's a no go, bro. Don't do it. Don't ever,
It's all good. My brother
don't
already
ever
told me.
do it, bro.
My
Don't
brother
ever
already
do it.
told me.
It's a dangerous area to go in, bro. Because last night, bro, she can't come up bed like, baby, go back to your bed, go back. And sometimes I let her because shoot, I'm used to it too. You cuddle with your baby, I love you so much. But nah, bro, don't do it. Don't do it, bro. If I could change one thing, that would do it. That's probably the only thing I ever change about all my experiences.
Not
Don't sleep
one
with me.
single day he slept with me. Not one day. My brother told me from the rip. He said, "Listen, you see what I go through? Don't do it." My son slept in the crib the first day he touched that house. I put him right down. He slept in like a little lounge pad in the
Yeah.
mattress for about a couple weeks, couple months, and then it went straight to mattress. You know what I mean? So we had him just like that. I was not going for it. No, sir. Nah, bro. Nah.
You got good advice, bro. You got good advice because I ain't know no better.
You don't know, man. That's why we got to have these talks, man. You don't never
Yeah.
know. And
'Cause I sure didn't ask nobody either. So
you can't ask somebody something you don't know about. So shout out to our pediatrician. Our pediatrician told us about it like the first week, and we was like, sleep training. What are you talking about? We was asking people. They was like, I ain't never heard of it. YouTube, went straight to YouTube. Man, I learned so much. I was like, I never knew this. And I was just, I tell you, I was waiting for the 4 month mark. Well, I was ready. I was so ready for that 4 month mark to hit, man. And but you got to make sure both people are ready for it. So, as a husband, my wife wasn't ready until like about one day. He really kept messing with her sleep. She was like, "Let's do it." I said, "I got you." She's like, "I don't think I can handle it." I said, "Listen, you go to work, and I'll take care of it. I got this." Because we both work night shift. So she went to work that night, and I started out the process. Man, that boy was in there hollering all night long. He'll holler, man, for about an hour. He goes to sleep for about 40 minutes. Wake up again, holler for about 40 minutes, go back to sleep. And he woke up that second or third time. He was up for about 2 hours, man, just screaming. And I was downstairs chilling, like, I'm just going to keep on watching TV, dog. Sure enough, he went to sleep. But when he saw me the next morning, he looked at me like, I know you heard me. Brother, he looked at me like, are you crazy? Oh, my son was mad at me, man. I've never seen a 4-month-old mad in my life until that day. But sure enough, man, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, man. By Sunday, man, I think he woke up twice throughout the night. Didn't even holler though. But just laid him down. Didn't holler at all. Woke up. But they just teach themselves how to fall asleep on their own and how to sleep on their own. That means they're not reliant on smells and your body, and all of the other stuff, man. So shout out to our pediatrician for that one. That was a lifesaver.
It is.
It's one thing to do when you got parents too. So if your parents are helping you out, man, it took me forever to get my mom on board with that. I was like, Mom, just leave him alone, man. You go in there, he's gonna start hollering. You can't handle that. Just leave him alone. So
They women different, bro. They can't. They be cringing like I gotta go pick him up. And I was the same way because I like I said, I ain't no better. I'm gonna go pick my baby up. He crying. I ain't supposed to be crying.
It's a girl. I understand.
Yeah. Maybe it's a son. It might have been a little harsher. You know what I mean? I don't know. But yeah, bro. Yeah. It's just an amazing experience, man. So
definitely, man. Definitely encourage it if you want to do it. Definitely encourage it if you want to do it. But make sure you're mentally tough for it, though. Make sure, especially when you have to deal with someone who may not be your partner. You never know what they're going to bring to the table. You know what I mean? So it's a beautiful thing, man. I got you.
That just hit the heart right there, boy. that hit me real deep. That hit me real deep, bro. That cut me a little bit, bro. I might be bleeding a little. He said something too real for me. I, he says, he said, "Yeah, be."
Oh, I got you, dog.
I can't wait to tell you some stories I got for you, boy. I can't wait to tell you some stories.
For sure, man. For sure. I get it. I get it. I understand, man. I understand. I understand, man. Differences, man. But it definitely having kids, man. Being a dad really, it really breaks you down, man. You think relationships break you down? Having kids will really, really bring you and your relationship to light. It's like we really have a lot more healing to do together. You know what I mean? Like, and I understand that my son he may bring out some trauma that I may have had as a kid that I didn't even realize. There may be some things I have to get cleared out with my parents dealing with kids. You know what I mean? So I know with having my son, I've had a lot more serious talks with my mom. It's just like, oh man, I did not see this coming. So as fathers, man, real fathers, not just dads, real fathers, man, you really have to really bring in and really be open. Humility. You really got to be open into being better, solving those issues that you have. You just can't sweep them under the rug, man. You gotta work on them, or each kid will have a problem, or your household would have a problem. Whenever you're raising boys, man, you gotta instill discipline. You gotta do it early. And that's what I realized that a lot of parents say, tough love, tough love. And you're like, all right, I hear, but do I really understand what it means? And tough love, man, is really a dad's love. Like, it's not a bunch of coddling. It's kind of working you into independency and discipline. And, kids don't have that discipline. That's not something they're going to have. And you got to realize it, or you're just going to be a very rough parent. Like, you know what I mean? You just can't be beating kids for no reason or whatever the case may be. Like my son, I haven't spanked him yet. He's a holler, man. My son's a crybaby, but loves his mom, man. But I try to instill the discipline in him the best way I can at this age. Can't really teach him right for wrong yet. I can only show him what he's prepared to learn. But routine, routine would come to kids. So my son, I'm a tough love parent. I'm a disciplinarian. I can say that. Um, my wife, my mother-in-law, and my mom, they love to hug up on him. So I don't want him to be overly emotional because kids have a lot of emotions that they have no idea how to manage. There are adults out here who can't even manage their own emotions. So how can I expect that from a 1-year-old? It's not
Right.
fair. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to be fair. So for my son, I always want to instill discipline in him for the future. But like you were saying, like to double back on it, it's like, all right, how do I want my son to speak of me? And my dad was my hero growing up, man. I love that man. Like, calm, cool, collected. You could not shake that man. Like, you could not get him angry. You can never see him go high, and you can never see him go low. Even through life changes and stuff, man, he was always even killed, and I admire that so much about him, man. So for me, I tell my wife all the time, I understand that our parenting styles are different, our households are different growing up, and I'm a dad, also raising a son. But I understand I'm doing this because I want him to be better than me. And I always tell her, my dad was a great man. I want to be better than my dad, but I want my son to be better than me. So as we keep passing that down along, then we're going to create great people if you come from a great village. So we get to see our parents' mistakes, the great things they did. So you try to do that in your own household. So I definitely want my son to be able to speak highly of me, man. I want him to be able to come to me whenever he can. I can't force it. There are different avenues that I can kind of provide for him. She may not agree with, but it's the best way to kind of get to kids going through, middle school when you see it. So it's always something, man, to kind of go through it. But I think throughout the time frames come, just trying to find a way to kind of keep in tune with where he doesn't go too far. Like you trying to sneak in here. That's funny. Shout out to the wife.
Man, that's yeah. So that's been big for me, and I could tell it's been big for you as well. And it's very, very important just to be that figure because you've seen how people that don't have that in their lives, how they sometimes they just go off the rocker or they don't seem to have no type of direction or it just seems so lost,
Yeah.
so lost. And it hurts to see it, especially as a parent. Now you see other kids like, dang, I wish I could like be your dad in the sense of like just give you some direction. Just give you some love. Because like, as a teacher, you see it. Sometimes there's no love. There's no love in that house. And it's like that's so unfortunate. That's so unfortunate.
Hate to see it, man. And I wanna ask and kind of say, so I coach high school. I know you as a basketball player seeing it too, like between AAU and school and college. How many times have you seen kids with a single parent household?
Too many times.
You know
More
what I mean?
often than not.
It's so common out here that I feel like we're trying to normalize it. And what we're doing is, man, we're doing a great dishonor to all these kids out here, man. And you really feel for them when you have your own, like you were saying, like, man, I can see it. And I've dealt with for me personally, I've dealt with a lot of kids. It was single mom households. And what that breeds is just a basketball parent. It's just like, oh my gosh, man. What in the world? What I just get a boyfriend or something. Man.
Like somebody good, you know what I mean?
A close male role model, man. Anything, man. And sometimes when you don't get to have these type of conversations with your lady, a lot of those single moms don't understand where we come from or what we're trying to do. So my wife can see it from a different dad's perspective, watching me, based on our conversations. So those moms who don't get to see it, even the dads who are going to get to deal with, dealing with a lady on a regular basis, you know what I mean? Or they just give up on it or whatever the case may be. It's just like, you don't even see what I'm trying to do for your son. This is more than basketball. Yeah, we coach it, but this is not just about basketball, man. They don't win nothing in JV basketball or varsity. I mean, you get bragging rights for a couple months. That's cool. But what you going to do after this, man? So It's a blessing to kind of see, like, even when I coached college, I did college for a year too. It's a great feeling when my players hit me up randomly. Hey, coach, how you doing, man? What's going on? Even when the parents appreciate the job you do. I had parents appreciate it. I've had parents hate me. I'm just like, hey, man, can't force you to like it. You know what I mean? So you feel for those kids, man, who don't get to see the love that you get to give your kids every day, man. Yes, you hit that. That's it, man. It's tough. It's just like, man, I wish I could just be more just like a big brother to you. So
your heart cringes, man. Your heart cringes. And that is the beauty of basketball. And that truly is the beauty of basketball, that you're able to really reach the hearts and the minds of young men or young women, whoever you choose to coach, and really make a difference in their lives. Like you said, man, a lot of them don't have father figures, or they have ones that don't care, or they're abusive, or it's not always, but it seems like a lot of times it's something. It's just something. And just to be that voice and just to be that figure is like, oh, you can do more with your life. Like whatever you see on a daily, you see me, I could do more. I mean, you could do more because I've done more. And I look just like you, maybe a little darker, maybe a little lighter, whatever the case may be, but I'm just like you. Still going through the same struggles like in this world. I'm just like you. I hoop just like you. I know what it's like. I know it's like to grind. I know it's like to not want to do it. It's like to force yourself to do it, to be hurting to do it. Yeah. I know what it's like. And so just to level with them in that way. And then like you said, just show them love. Like hard, sometimes it's tough love because you're coaching. You're not going to be just rubbing their back, because it's basketball. You better get right. But you better act like you know something. I'm gonna fuss at you, but I do it because I love you. How many times you heard coaches say, man, if I ain't like you, I wouldn't say nothing to you. If I didn't believe you, I wouldn't say nothing to you. I just let you go.
Definitely.
And I don't know. I never had a coach that let me go. So I make sure I never let any other kids go. But I
Definitely.
coach. I'm an assistant coach now at the high school, South
Ooh.
Granville, which is up there. And I was middle school head girls this past year, and which is I liked it because it teach me how I'm gonna teach my girls. And I was coach girls at Leesville Middle back in the day too.
Ooh.
So
It's tough.
I've had more middle school girl experience than high school boys. So I'm looking forward to getting to that. But just being able to, even for the girls, just to being able to be some type of figure. I ain't gonna say father figure because I ain't gonna go that far, but
Definitely.
to be a male voice of encouragement, because I'm gonna encourage you. I'm gonna talk to you, and I'm gonna not talk down on you, but I'm gonna talk to you in a way that's gonna uplift you and encourage you. But like, if you messing up, you messing up. And I'm gonna let you know you messing up. You might cry a little bit, but I'm here for you. I'm not doing anything to harm you. Not yelling at you because I'm mad. I'm just trying to. I'm loud. I'm a loud guy. I'm a loud guy. I tell them all the time. You think I'm yelling at y'all, or do you think I'm actually just passionate about what I do?
Right.
And just to see that, and a lot of times some of them don't see that at all, especially from a young girl's perspective, and which I feel like is gonna help me as a daughter dad as well.
Right. I want to say I want to ask, have you noticed something real quick? You assistant coach with the girls, and you get to see the head coach. Do you prefer assistant coach or do you prefer a head coach?
I'm assistant coach of the boys in high school, and I was a head coach of the girls. I did enjoy head coaching. I did enjoy that, but I also equally enjoy assistant coaching, because I feel like I could learn something. Because a head coach, you're in control of everything, and you might mess up, or you got somebody you listen to. But sometimes the assistant coach, all the pressure's not on you, and so you see a little bit more. I think in this season of my life, I think I'm gonna enjoy assistant coaching at the high school more than I am head coach, because I'm still growing and still learning. I think when I get more advanced and more mature, I'm gonna definitely just want to be the head coach. But since I'm still growing, and I know the game, I play the game, I understand the game. But as a coach, it's a whole different animal.
Oh,
Like
man.
I was like, you think sometimes you think you know something before you do it.
Yeah.
When you start doing this, like, ooh, I didn't even think about that.
Man, you gotta look at the game at a completely different eye. And I only asked it because I've only done assistant coaching, and when it comes to teams, man, you have to take it. Everything is always going to be bigger than you. You know what I mean? So I feel like my personality, when it comes to dealing with, because I've only coached boys, but dealing with young men, is that I love being a player's coach. Whereas, like, I'm easy to talk to, but I'm going to hold you accountable. I can break stuff down to you a lot better because you're more willing to talk to me than you are the head coach. You know what I mean? Even if the head coach is a good dude, it's just kind of like an unspoken rule almost, because basketball players like, man, head coach is straight, man, but I can really sit down on this bench right now during game time and talk to coach. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I like being a player's coach, man. Most player coaches also train. So I did the training thing for a little bit too. That was pretty fun to watch the guys who really wanted to grow. But I like the players coaching style, man. It suits me as far as interacting with them. That's how I prefer to interact. Some of my players want to be a head coach now. It's like, pass. I'm good. If I have to stand up there and really think about what play to run next, I'm cool on that, man. Like you said, but I'm not there yet where I have to sit there and call a play, man. So can I choose a play to call? Oh, yeah, for sure. Do I want to do it? Nah. I don't want to do that.
Man, I never thought about that. A player. That's probably why I like it, being a player's coach, because I'm a player, and I'm really all about encouraging, uplifting. Like, so when you hear like, look, bro, you could do this, this, and this, but I believe in you, man. And that's why the game is going on, and you're not trying to focus on what defense are they running. I mean, you got to help, of course, with that as well, but it's you're not the main schematic guy doing all the schemes and stuff. So, man, maybe that's why I do like it. I never thought of it. You just put something new in my head. I was like, man, because I'm a player's coach. I really understand the player.
It's different.
I really understand the grind. And Yeah, bro, that's a thought. Ooh, I never thought about that.
I
That
had
is
to
a
ask,
thought.
man. I said,
That
I'll
is a
never,
thought.
yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I love it. I love it, man. And
I like that.
it's more than not wanting the responsibility, man. It's like most of the time as a head coach, you think about it, right? You pull a kid, you're not really telling him what he did wrong. You like, go talk to the assistant coach. You know what I mean? He ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But he's the one that's putting you in the game. But it's our decision. The assistant coach is like, all right, look, I think that what's call it, woo woo woo. We could talk about it. You know what I'm saying? He may or may not agree with it, but it's like, okay, look, something happens during free throws. Who's calling you to the sideline? The assistant coaches. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Head coach may like call his the point guard over because he's your floor general. Hey man, we're gonna run this next time down, or how you feel like running this. You know what I mean? So I get to really like, all right, navigate you through your process, especially with high school, because you know they don't know what they're doing at all. You know, they just they don't know. And it's like, man, were we like this too? Yeah,
Yeah, I was like,
yeah, we were. And I got a funny story about that too. It's like, oh man, they don't have the slightest clue, but I can help guide you. I can't walk you through it because basketball is all about experience, man. So it's like you got to go through it. I remember after my first year coaching, we did like a little alumni game in Wakefield, and my old varsity coach came back. The first thing I said to his name when I saw him, I apologized. I wasn't a bad player at all. I'm not an argumentative person, man. I'm always, you get on me, I'm gonna listen. All right, I'm not gonna whine about it. I've been a bench player. I've been a starter. I've been a great role player. I've been all of it. I'm okay. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Whatever you want me to do, just let me know what you want me to do. I'm a utility guy. You know what I mean? So everybody could be like you, just get buckets. I'm not like that. I'm not that guy. You know what I mean? So I was a utility guy, man. So first thing I said when I saw him, I was like, man, I'm sorry, coach. Whatever I did wrong, man. Whatever. He was like, no, no, no. You was a great player, man. You was a great kid, whatever. I had to do it, man. I'm coaching kids now. And then, like, I see it. I see it. He was just like, nah, man, you whatever I said, man, you did, you know? So I understand, man. It was a great experience seeing my old high school coach again, man, after so many years. So it was pretty dope. He definitely got to see my growth. So you know what I'm saying? I won't shoot jump shots, but he last saw me. So
Yeah, yeah,
I was sitting
yeah. I
there
mean, I
watching.
played with you about something, but he started shooting jumpers. I was like, I ain't got a head up. I was not expecting that. I thought he was gonna jump over me. Like that's what I remember.
No, it's crazy because my high school coach, my sophomore year, he told me, he said, man, listen, you're not gonna always be able to get to the lane, dog. But throughout my growth in that process, man, we used to I was starting to smell myself a little bit because I could see the work like transitioning to the game. And I wasn't working out for a purpose. My dad would make me work out. I didn't want to work out at all, but he made me work out with other guys and stuff. And the work was showing throughout the game. So I started to smell myself a little bit. I started to get that cool guy kind of feel to my play my sophomore year, going into AAU more specifically. But what ended up happening was, man, I was like, man, I'm gonna get to the lane anyway. You know what I'm saying? Anybody gonna stop me from getting to the lane, man. I'm too athletic for all of this. But every now and then I'll shoot a little bit, you know what I mean? But when I tore my ACL going into my junior year and I couldn't play at all, we switched coaches, and my head coach was a shooting networks coach. Shout out to Pat Kennedy, man. Shooting networks coach, man, and he drilled all of us into shooting. So I had more time to shoot than anybody because I was rehabbing, I couldn't play, and that was going to be like a real breakout season for me. So it was kind of a setback. So that's why when I came back senior year, I led the team in 3-point percentage, man. Crazy. Shooting 40% senior year. And I
In
won't
high
really
school or college?
high school, man. High school.
You shoot like that?
40%, man. You know what's crazy? I
I don't
hate.
remember that.
I'm gonna tell you why you don't remember, and it's pisses me off to this day. That oh my god. When we played y'all at y'all place, we lost. And
Yeah, I was hurt that game. I didn't even play that game.
I was so mad because we played so bad. And I was like, there's no way we should have lost to them, bro. Like, they're like bottom of the conference, middle bottom. Like, we shouldn't have lost to them dudes. There's no way it should have happened, man. So, like, we didn't play good that game. And then y'all had them funky old goals where the backboard was low. the wall was right next to the goal. Man, I hated that gym. I really did.
No breakaway rims. It was stiff.
Man, Straight out the
That just
90s, man. It was terrible. Hard rim, man. So I may have hit like one when we played y'all. No, matter of fact, I didn't. I don't think I made one at all. Then we played y'all at the house, and we actually won. But that was more of like a driving game. But like throughout the year, man, I was our primary shooter, but we still had great shooters on our team, man. Still had some great players and everything. But I definitely was shooting at a higher clip, and it was funny because a lot of people didn't realize it until I got cleared and I started shooting. Or they worked out with me in the summertime, especially in college. Like people didn't realize how much time I put into shooting. So I remember working out with one of the guys, man. Matter of fact, remember Ray Harris? He worked out with me one time, and he was like, "Yo, when did you start shooting like this?" And I just started laughing. I was like, "Bro, I've been doing this for years, man. Like I've been in here shooting tons of mid ranges, tons of 3-pointers, man." So when I got to college, man, it was either at the rim or the 3-point line, one of the two. That's kind of how it went. So, oh yeah, man, I was putting shots up, dog. I was putting them up. I got tired of the dunk label, man. You know what I mean? The dunk label is cool and all. I can catch a body, but
yeah,
I want to shoot that thing too, bro.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
So, oh yeah,
And so I remember everybody talking about, yo, Mario Nash towards ACL. And I was like, dang, that's tough. Because you're like, back in the day when you took ACL, your career was over. Like everybody thought that, like during that time. But
yeah.
you still came back, still bouncy and stuff. So I guess talk about like just to encourage people that may be listening and it's that rehab process and getting back after an injury and still finding confidence, still going to college. That the whole mentality behind that.
Sports science, man. Sports science. Shout out to sports science, man,
The
because
show?
no, just in general, just
I was about to say, I remember that
sports.
show was hot.
The show was crazy, but sports science, sports medicine now, man, is so crazy. And the guy who rehabbed me in high school, 'cause I tore my ACL twice, man, and that's the crazy part. So when I tore it the first time, the guy who rehabbed me tore his ACL when he was in high school too. So I had a guy, man, who got me kind of together. And for us at Wakefield, man, you had to take weightlifting, non-negotiable every year, almost every semester. So between that program, we probably shouldn't have been doing it because they do football workouts, man. They had everybody strong as crazy. Knees were not meant for that much weight and moving, but trusting the process. It sounds so simple, man, but you really have to trust the process, yo. Because I remember having to lay in bed, man. I couldn't walk like the first month, the first time. I couldn't walk for 2 months the second time.
Mm,
So just having to go through, man, I was literally nationally ranked, whether it was a low number or high number. I was ranked in the state. And to go from that to like, am I ever going to be able to play again? But I was in so much pain. And it kind of sucked because my parents had to work. My brothers had to work. So I was at home by myself all day long, man, just
mm.
in pain.
And
Couldn't
your
either
thoughts.
move. Yeah, man, it's probably one of the lowest. Once again, man, you hit these real rock bottoms. Parenting can't compare to it, dude. Challenging, but not even close, bro. You didn't have to learn how to walk again to parent. You know what I mean? So to go from that to all right, I can walk now. All right, you can jog now. All right, you can do RDLs, one leg squats, regular squats, lunges, and every week you will see the process, the mobility, man. The mobility sucks. A lot of people can't handle the pain that comes with it, but if you just endure, you can get through anything, yo. I think that it's not I don't want to call it a blessing and a curse, but it kind of is. But
Hmm.
it really tests your mental fortitude, man. It really does. And to go through it, man, it was the first time was just like, yo, this is crazy to have to. I got to rehab 3 to 5 times a week. Starting, we may rehab for 30 minutes at one point, and then it starts going to 45, an hour and a half, 2 hours. Man, I was in rehab at one point, man, for 2.5 hours every single day, man. And it changes as the levels kind of changes. So in high school, I think I was in rehab for about an hour 45, hour 30. In college, man, I was in rehab for about 2 hours and like 10 minutes. And you gotta trust it. You gotta trust it. Just keep going. You gotta keep going. And when they say you have to meet this goal to get to the next goal, if you just work at it a little bit by little bit, then it'll show. Yeah, it's painful, man. It's Jesus, it's a painful process, yo. It's because you have to learn how to. You can feel it now when you stretch. When you stretch, you can't stretch as good as you did in your 20s. But I
Well,
see, you know what I mean? Like, you really have to go from like not being able to bend it. You have to force it, and forcing it hurts. But as you get to them doctor visits and you get past the limit, they tell you to, oh, you're doing good. It's a great feeling. It, all right, they ain't got to break my leg back in place. You know what I'm saying? Because that scar tissue builds up, man. You ain't playing no sports no more, dog. You might as well call it quits. So I really wanted to play again. I was lucky enough to have an assistant coach on the JV team come talk to us one time. And he came to me specifically. He's like, man, I played in the NFL for a little bit. And I tore my ACL, man. He said, the moment that I ditched my brace, everything was good. So, I don't remember, but in high school, I had that big old knee brace, that big
I
old bulky
remember.
thing. That thing was trash. And they do it for preventative measures, but you really don't need it. It's really a mental thing, yo. And it took me about a year to ditch that thing. I went to the Davidson Open Gym, and I was sweating. The thing was sliding. It was getting to my last nerve because it also like pulls at your leg hairs, man. It kind of sucks. I
That sounds like
chucked
it
it.
hurt.
Yeah, I chucked it and never wore it again. And I was like, I'm not wearing this crap no more, man. So once I did that, just believe in yourself, man. You put the work in, yo. But for those, man, who have to go through any form of injury, man, you have to take it day by day and do not give up. You're going to have lows. It is what it is. You're going to realize that you're not yourself no more. Like you said yourself, you thought I was still bouncy. But the crazy part is I hit it very well because I was a natural athlete. I could jump off the right, I could jump off the left, I could jump off both ways. But what people don't know is I lost the left eventually. I lost it. And it was either right hand, it was either right foot or 2 foot. I laid up off the left. I may sneak one in here and there, but no, no. I hit it very well, but I do realize that when you go through these like big injuries, when you have to sit, it really shows you how good your game is and how much you know about the game. Because that injury really showed me like, yo, you can't get to the rim no more, dog. What you gonna do? So I had to start using my body more. I had to start playing more of an adult game that my mind wasn't ready for. So it was hard for me, man, going through college. High school is like, man, I used to just be able to just do this, and I can't do it no more. Like, what good am I now? You know what I mean? I've always had that thought, and people never really know unless you really see a chance to talk to me about it. It's just like, yo, I really try to hide it. I became a lot more passive, and I became a lot more facilitative throughout the process because like, I can't do it. And I heard Lou Williams talk about it, and Lou Williams, sweet pep, man, that boy, Lou Williams is smooth. I don't know what. And even he talks about it. He said, man, I can't pull up this way no more. I have to start doing it this way because I can't do that no more. And he's a professional bucket. And it's just like, man, he understands like you can't do things the same way no more, man. I used to one step good. No more. You gotta really work on your shot fake. You really have to work on your game. So whatever sport you're playing, not only while you're getting through that process of coming back, work on your game, on whatever you're doing. You gotta work on it. Even if you're just going through life, man, work on sitting down and standing up. Work on standing for a long time because it's gonna hinder you, man. It's gonna deter you, but you gotta stay strong on the course, man. That's the key. It's the key, man. It's the only way to make it. And that's
Yeah,
real.
man, I get that. I get that. Do you think having your game slow down that way helped you be a better coach?
Yes. Because I had players who had torn ACLs.
Mm-hmm.
I came in my first year of high school, man. I had a player who tore his ACL. Matter of fact, I think I started volunteering at JUCO. And I think we had players who was like injured reserve or something. But primarily when I got to the high school level, I got put into a position because a less unfortunate kid who was being raised by his grandparents, he didn't have nobody to pay for insurance. So he didn't have rehab available to him. So I trained him through the preseason and earlier season based off rehab because I've been through it twice at that point. No, 3 times at that point. So the head coach was like, hey, he's going to come back sometime this year. He can't afford this, whatever. Just rehab him while we go through practice and stuff. So that's exactly what I did, man. And that helped with that. It helped me with kids who didn't have the athletic ability already and couldn't do certain things. I got to start to teach them more IQ than just getting your bag full, you know? So my coaching style for my kids is making them think. Because, you know, right now, the IQ is just not really in the game no more. It's all about a bunch of moves. Yeah. So I had to learn
It's just 2K. It's just 2K.
video games, man. Do a bunch of moves. Man, pass the ball, man. Come on, what y'all doing? So I had to really get a chance to teach them IQ. And like, all right, think about it. Because in our conference and where we was at, it was like 1 or 2A. It was a lot of zones because they couldn't shoot. I said, all right, learn how to work a zone. What are you going to do when the ball's here? What do you think is going to happen? All right, if the defense is here, where do you think you should be or you should go if the ball's here? And they be looking like, I'm like, bro, just think about it for a second. If you go here, right, they be like, oh. But you know one thing, you show them one thing, it's game time, it's out the window.
That light bulb to be popping. I'd be like, dang, but like you said, was I like this? like this seems so obvious now.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons I moved up to high school from middle school, because it's just the level that I wanted to coach at. It's just, you have to I hate saying dumb it down, but just simplify it so much. It's like I'm just so much past that. It's just hard to keep going back there. You say something, they be like, The Rock? Like the basketball. Just get the basketball.
Oh,
I'd be like, yo, it's killing me.
I told my player, I said, man, just like Agent Zero used to do. They said, who? I said, Agent Zero? They was like, what? I said, Gilbert Arenas. They said, who? I was like, you know who Gilbert Arenas is? Oh my God.
I mean, he
was
like kids will never know D Rose when D Rose was D Rose. I mean, just they just missed out on so much good basketball, man.
Yes, man. Yeah, they don't understand. Like, granted, he didn't have the lengthy career he wanted, but when he was healthy, that man was top 5 guards in the league, man. That man was so cold. And I was a huge fan of Gilbert Arenas, man. Huge fan of Gilbert Arenas. Shout out to Agent Zero.
It's hard not to be. I
That man was
mean,
so cold, bro.
he was like one of my favorites, but if he was on play, I'm tuning in because he is cold blooded.
He was
cold blooded. I heard his kid is cold blooded too.
Oh yeah, Elijah, man.
Yeah.
Gilbert Arenas is a wild dude. He's a wild man. Listen to his takes is the funniest thing ever. But like he knows how to train. Some of his takes is really crazy, but sometimes, man, he be like, dang, I never thought of that. That NBA mindset is so much different than our level of mindset is not the same, man. We realize our games are totally different compared to what they be talking about. But his son is he's definitely a skilled kid, man. I like to see him play against more talented kids than where he's at, because right now he's just walking through, just doing whatever he wants to do. But that kid is nice, man. He's nice for sure. And, you know, we can spot talent a mile away.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So how much is it for you? Because for me, I want my kids to play basketball. I want to coach you. I want to train you. I want to be there like my dad was there for me. I want that experience. And so how much is it for you just to like, you gotta play, please play basketball, please play. Like, I'm not gonna force you to do anything because I know that's gonna turn you away, but the first thing you're gonna do is get a basketball in your hands.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I guess like, what is your goal, if you will? Like, because I think we both agree, without even having to talk about it, we don't want to force our kids to do something they don't want to do, because we understand that if we don't want to do it, and when we was kids didn't want to do it, and somebody tried to force it, we just walked away from it. It was like, we're done. I don't want to do it no more.
Right.
But just, I guess, coercing them in a way to be a basketball, because you like I just feel like that's got to be the greatest experience in the world.
Definitely.
Handing down a game that we love to our kids. So how much is that? Like, how important is that for you?
You try to sound so fair, man, but I sound like LeBron right now. I want my son to play basketball. I don't care what nobody's talking about. But you're right, man. I'm not going to force it. I definitely would try to encourage it. But if anything, I'll give him the fundamentals. But it's funny, yo, that you asked me that question, because I seen one of Raleigh's finest when I was out one day, and I straight up asked him, Prince Williams, man. I was talking to him, and just talking. I ain't seen him in a while, and I asked him straight up. I said, "Yo, I need you to train my son if he plays basketball." I'm gonna tell you why, P. I was a huge fan of Prince's game in high school, and even
You
afterwards,
bugging.
man, he was so underrated, man. Dude was so smooth, and we didn't realize he could do so much. And if he was like a little bit more, in my personal opinion, from what I seen him play when he was just there, even though they had two juggernauts back to back, you can't really do so much with JR and him. But
Mm-hmm.
watching him play, man, he had it all, man. And I really admired his game because he could do so much stuff that I couldn't do. Man, I was like, dang, this dude is so nice. In high school and college, even overseas clips, I'm like, man, this dude is so nasty. And I told him, I said, bro, I loved your game. And I told him his game reminds me of Paul George. And
Oh yeah. Yeah.
sleeper right there.
Yeah. I like that. I like
He
that.
was like, yo, PG is my favorite player, bro. And I was like, bro, your game is just like his, man. Almost down to the jump shot. I said, yo, my son plays basketball, man. I need you to train him, yo, because I can't do what you do. I can't train my son based off my game. And I heard Seth talk about it when they asked him about training his sons. He was like, man, my son aren't going to be me. I'm a big dude, I'm taller. Games are changing. I trained him the beginning, the basics, and after that, I sent to other people. You know what I'm saying? So I want to give my son the basics if I can. And I want to send him to somebody that either knows what they're doing or who just got a crazy skill set. You know what I mean? But, honestly, man, you just got to do it every day. That's all. Stay consistent with it. So I definitely want to encourage him for sure. For sure, man. It's every sports person's dream, man. Even if he runs track, I'm cool with that. I'm fine with
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Just do
did track at
some
one
type
point.
of sport.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if you take that basketball route, though,
I'm all in.
just know I'm 3,000% in. I'm gonna be 1,000
Yeah.
for everything else, but 3,000, I am invested into any and every expense that you need, my boy. I got you. I got you, and I know what I'm doing. I can't help you in track but so much. I can't help you in football at all. So
Hmm.
I got you, but I definitely will see
And
you
that's what my
where I want
dad
you.
always said. My dad always said, he was like, I want you to play any sport, but if you want to go to college, you play basketball, I'll get you to college. He's, I promise you that. I can't help you with no other sport, but if you play basketball, I'll get you to college. I took him
Yeah,
up on his offer. I played college ball. Like,
yeah,
and yeah, so for me with girls, of course, girls are just as much able to play basketball. A lot of them games are even better, even more fundamental. Like it's a fact. Jump
mhm,
shots pure, all that kind of stuff.
definitely.
But I know that it's so possible to push them away from the game. And so I think this my experiences with being a girl coach kind of showed me how I can go about it. But like you said, man, like look, my oldest is tall too. She's 7 and she's tall. I'm like,
Oof.
yo, you gotta hoop. Like,
It's
and I'm like, play it at least play an inside sport because I don't want to be out in the sun. I ain't gonna lie to you. I play basketball. I did not play no football. I want to stay inside.
definitely, man, definitely. I'm not trying to buy all them seat cushions, and I'm not trying to buy no
No,
extra jackets and
no.
gloves. Come on, baby, do me a favor. And if it rains, oh no,
Winter sports, we good. We good.
control
We warm in
environment,
the gym. Yes, yes.
control
Like,
the environment. Yeah, and it's crazy. 'Cause even though I started playing basketball, man, I grew to love football at one point, and it was my thing for about like 3 years, and then I never got back into it, man. But when I tell you, man, I can only imagine how my people felt standing outside, man, and in October, November, man. I was like, man, this is not the business. Saying it, man.
because you was hurting out there on the field, cold.
You know what's crazy though? You never played one down in football, have you?
Yeah, I played up when I'm from Rochester, New York, so I played 1 year up there, and that's why I never played again because it was cold and it was daggone. I was on the ground every play. I said I hate this sport. I never played again, bro.
Definitely not the greatest place to learn, man. But I can say that when I was playing was for North Carolina, man, playing football here with those cold days, because football kind of warms you up different with the padding. Like I learned that I really get why a lot of people don't wear long sleeves during the winter because you do get hot when you play.
Mm-hmm.
And there's times I used to go out in the game with a hoodie on. And I'm like, man, I'm cooking. I gotta come out the hoodie, man. I gotta come out of it. And I get it. I understand. Like when the helmets come off and all that steam coming off your head, man, it's like even though it's
Mm-hmm.
cold outside, bro, you don't feel cold at all, man. Maybe when like a breeze comes through, but ooh. But besides that, you be hot, man. That's why a lot of football players they don't wear nothing. They don't have no leggings on. They don't have no long sleeves on. And I understand it now. They have their own tricks too, but I get it now. I get it. But yeah, keep controlled environment, bro. Let's take this thing inside, baby.
Let's do it.
Let's
Let's
go
do
inside.
it, man.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
So I just so look forward to this experience, this fatherhood journey. It's been a blessing so far. You're 2 years in. Uh, I'm 7 strong.
I
But
admire it though, man. I wish my son was 7 right now. Really do. I wish
no,
he.
don't rush it, bro. You're gonna miss it. Threes and fours, bro. It's an amazing time. Don't rush it. Don't rush it. Because
Ah,
you get to see them their words start to form and stuff like that, and you get to teach them things. They're just like sponge. They soaking up everything. I can teach you big words right now, all that kind of stuff. But she just, but don't rush that.
I
That three
know,
four. Oh, I love that age. It's such an
man. I know.
awesome age. They say terrible too. Man. I don't care nothing about that. That's a great age. They gonna be terrible when they're 18. Just what it is. Like it's just what it is, man. They're teenagers, man. I got
Yeah.
girls, man. I'm just scared. I'm scared.
Does them being girls scare you more, or do the potential boys scare you more?
I definitely think the potential boys scare me more,
Yeah,
especially
I
because of the way this
understand.
world is. Because the way the world is,
Yeah,
um, just the weight. Because you know, as a man right now, you know, as a man, you got to be a leader, and no matter what's going on, you got to be that leader.
yes,
And like even in God's eyes, he put man on earth first, then the woman came, and that's just the how it is, and not in terms of value, but just in terms of order and what he has. So the weight is on your shoulders, and that's tough.
yes,
And I know people are. I mean, obviously, people run away from that responsibility. Why so many single parents?
yep.
Because it's a lot, and if you don't have no solid foundation, if you're not strong minded, any of that kind of stuff, you not gonna pull through. So I definitely a little bit more nervous for the men because for our sons because they really are like the leaders. They really are and there's such an attack on men right now. Just like social media and the government, bro. What is an
Talk about it.
attack?
Let's
It's
talk
an
about it.
it's an attack on
let's
men, bro.
let's talk
From
about
just
it.
from homosexuality, bro, to just shaming men for having emotions, and you talk about mental health, and then when the men start having mental health, you cutting them out. I mean, just making them not valued as a father, and trying to puff up the women in a way. So they're saying like you don't even need a man, but you need a man because you can't teach your son how to be a son, and you can't teach your daughter how to be loved by a man. Like, and then oh man,
Man, that's a long talk, my man. Listen,
we got to come a part two of that joy.
man, it's like I think if we were to break it down holistically, because the Bible's kind of explanation, you can treat it as traditional. The problem is people keep having a voice with traditional mindsets in a modern time frame. You can't be traditional minded in a modern time frame. Traditional minded, we're thinking, okay, women couldn't work. Let's remember that. Let's always remember that the women could not work first. They didn't have as many rights. They were pretty much pushed off to the side. Then next phase is let's work on these women's rights, right? But at this point, the men aren't being bashed still, right? As the women come into their own and we keep fighting for these women's rights as time goes on and on and on, we put so much pressure and so much focus on the women growing that now we're starting to push the man to the side instead of us sharing this spotlight together. Problem with that is when we uplift one, we tear down the other. We don't need to tear down the other because I'm not going to tear down my wife in this house. You know what I mean? This is it's still co-parenting, not necessarily on a separational kind of thing. It's like I'm a parent, you're a parent. Let's let's bridge this gap between one another, and let's raise our son up in this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to take my wife down. Be the best you can be. Whatever you need for me to help you out with that, talk to me about it. You know, we ain't got to argue about it. We ain't got to, hey, man, I don't do the arguing. I'm telling you right now. I'm not arguing with nobody. You ain't about to curse at me, none of that stuff. No. That's the route you want to go. Let's talk about this later because you don't get nothing accomplished with that. So with that, what's happening is we're talking about a bunch of modern women with an idea of how a man's supposed to be, and you're not listening to what we're trying to. It's so simple. Bro, we're simple men, dude. What I said earlier. I said, man, we like natural. Natural, you can't beat natural, bro. We're very straightforward. Don't try to break down what I'm saying to you. Listen to what I'm telling you. You know what I mean? And everybody has an idea of what everybody's supposed to be instead of just listen to one another. But the problem is when you deal with so much bad, you think this is what all men are like. The conversation can be put in 2 to 3 different categories. Let's talk about a category of good men. Let's talk about a category of bad men. All right, let's got to separate the two. So when you go in general, most women only talk about their experiences. And you got to remember there's a lot of women out here who are messing up these men's experiences, which messes up your experience. It's just like dating for anyone. When you date someone for the first time in like high school, middle school, whatever, college or something, that time frame, you're going to learn from that one and take it to the next one. But if you keep dealing with the same thing because what you give off, that's what you're going to attract. And a lot of people don't see that. You give off a vibe that attracts negative men or women. That's what you're accustomed to. Maybe you have to shift something within yourself before trying to find somebody else, which is another thing you were saying earlier. You got to be better every day. If you don't challenge yourself or work to be better every day, this is what's going to happen. So now we got all these women, because there's a lot more women in the world than men, which gives them a smaller pool. Somebody's going to be single, which means you're going to deal with a lot of dudes who ain't worth 2 cents. It's going to happen, man. You got to realize how easy it is to access a female. If y'all are going to make it that much easier to access female, and this is how life's going to go, understand how life's moving before you just start pointing fingers. A lot of times we keep pointing fingers at people. Stop pointing fingers and just look within yourself. Like, you know what? Maybe there are some men out here, but look at the men I've been dealing with. So let's stop tearing down all men and realize my category of men that I have been dealing with personally. So that is so aggravating to me. And it's like, if y'all just stop taking the time to playing the blame game and just pay attention to yourself, work on your standards. For example, man, you seen that crazy list of crap that they're talking about men can't be? That list.
I don't be on social media like that. What
Man,
they talk about?
man, they got a crazy list out here. Granted, it's like a joke, but some of that stuff up there is just like people are actually saying it. It's like a list of like red flags for men. I'm just like, are y'all serious? Like, what kind of, you can't be a human being no more? It's crazy to me. You can't. They had a list of stuff like first dates, and it's like one of the things this girl was saying, man, I'm trying to remember specifically what she was basically saying something like, I don't like a man who can dance. What? I can't. Even kids dance. Like, I can't dance now. But no, I don't like a man who can dance. That just turns me on. What? Okay, you have your own preferences. Sure, whatever, man. Got other people talking like, yeah, I don't like when a man tries to leave me. Oh, ma'am, I don't know what to tell you, but you're going to struggle in your relationship. I'm sorry.
That's called toxic. Right? You call that toxic.
Yeah, man, it's just a bunch of crazy red flags. Some of it's a joke. And then they got the list of stuff you can't take people out on first dates and stuff.
I did hear something about that. Like, you can't go somewhere simple like Olive Garden or something like that. Like, what?
I love Olive Garden. What?
I'm a Chili's guy. I love Chili's.
I used to love Chili's, man. It's just like, yo, we just can't go somewhere to sit down and talk. Why does it got to be all this money? It's not about money, man. We're making so much about money, and inflation's going crazy. you got to realize the percentage of what you're asking for is very small, which means you have to deal with the same kind of guys, and you're not going to get everything you want, man. You're not going to get this unicorn man you're looking for. You're not going to get it. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. And it's just like, bro, what are we doing? What are we setting our kids up for right now? Like, could you imagine your daughter would never bring anybody to the house that's you will approve of at the rate that we're going? As long as this man does not disrespect you and he loves you unconditionally, then we're good. But almost that ain't good enough. Now it's
Yeah.
you got to make $500,000. Do you know that's like 0.1% of people in life? Like, what are we talking about here, man? Like,
And if you do all that stuff, what do you call it, a simp now? Or if
yeah,
you
man.
like, bro, how you? So and then they demonize people that actually want to be that man to take care of their woman, to treat them nicely. He
Yeah.
demonized it, and now but you mad that when somebody else treats you differently? Like, come on now.
You can't. It's a lose-lose situation out here, man. It is so scary for us as dads and parents. Like, what what are my kids going to grow up in, man? Like, at the rate that we're going, like, you can't even get healthy food out here. Like,
What?
golly,
What?
like, what are we doing out here, man? Like, this is madness, and I'm kind of I'm worried for my kid, where it's like, all right, man, I'm not even sure if I can give you proper advice on what's going on now. You know what I mean? I may be too
You gotta
far
stay
gone.
hip.
It's terrible, man. It's like, yo, what am I gonna do? I gotta I gotta do something to keep this man level headed out here with all this stuff going on. People are paying for women. You got you got people out here finding love off of social media, don't know how to interact individually. You got you got all types of people messing with their bodies and stuff, and it's just like ain't no telling what's going to happen for you, dog, in 20 years, man. Like
Right.
I'm I fear it as a parent, man, because it's like you can see it. You see it when you teach, man. You see this the access to how many people got phones now. I ain't had a phone in middle school. Almost all of them
What?
got cell phones,
To
and you got
high
people.
school.
Right, I didn't get mine like freshman year because I made the basketball team. That's the only reason why I needed to ride home.
Excited to ride home.
You know what I mean? I had to find a way to the house. Man, my dad was like, yeah, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I look at it, man. I keep hearing about all these parents, man, who got kids talking about what their kids are texting other kids at like 10, 11, and 12. And I'm just like, why do they even have cell phones right now? It's like, just be a kid, man. Just enjoy it. Now y'all on Fortnite all the time and online gaming. And it's all right to do that stuff, man. But when you're like embedded in it every second of your life, taking homework away from kids, like it's getting crazy out here. It's like, yo, you really have to pay attention to what you give your kids, man, because the access to what they see, the access to what they could say, the access to something they could just interact with, and they look up to that stuff. And it's just like,
Hmm.
oh man, like no, bro, that is thug life is not it. And
Right.
I
And
work in
it,
a prison, bro. I work in a prison. And I see all of these ladies, man, every day. And it's just like, what is going on with y'all? Like, what happened? And then their parents will call up there with complaints. And I'm just like, yo, you're complaining to me about your daughter who's in prison. Where was this energy when she was a kid? Like, I'm sorry, man. Like, is she here? I don't know if she's here or not. I can check and see. Well, y'all need to do something. And look. This is timeout. This is grown folks timeout. Okay, you're not getting privileges. I'm sorry, and I don't want to sound mean about it, but they messed up as an adult. I'm not shunning them for it, but just understand what we're dealing with here. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
anybody can end up in it at the wrong place at the wrong time. You know what I mean? So it's just like me working in that kind of atmosphere. I can see like, all right, man, I'm gonna do the best I can to keep you from this, but I'm not going to force your hand on a lot of different stuff. But there's some stuff that I can handle and control to a certain point. But give you all the tools that I can give you to make sure you move through life accordingly. Now that's on you after that point. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I'm just I know a lot of us dads, man, real dads out here are just fearful of like the different, especially me as with a son. Like I'm fearful of the type of woman that you might end up with, man, because of how their mindsets are shifting. Like my wife is amazing, man. She's genuine wife, man. She's caring, she's thoughtful. And it's just like, man, I hope you can find somebody like my mom or my wife, you know what I mean? Or my aunts or my cousin. And it's just like, you don't know what having a great person in your corner is like. And I think we're going away from a good, even if you want to call it Southern style, or just a great, genuine person. Like finding genuine people out here is just hard, man. I fear for it. And we want the best for our kids. Like I want it for you, but I can't want things for you. I could just hope and pray that you tend to find somebody like I did, or like my dad or my mom did. You know what I mean? So
I think that's the biggest attack right now on the family dynamic.
yeah,
Trying to break that up because that's when, especially us black people, we were the strongest, and since slavery, since all that stuff, was when our families were together. And
yeah.
that's when that's when they broke us up. That's why they started doing the system of jail and all the systematic stuff they was doing. They don't have
Drugs
time
and
to
all
go in
that.
that, but you don't have time to
Yeah.
go in all that. But man, like, so that's the attack right now. So with this podcast, with just us chopping up even off air and just at the gym, we're just gonna talk about it. How are we gonna be the leaders that we need to be? How are we gonna do the things that we need to do to uplift our kids, to set them apart from where this world is going? Because the access, the things they're talking about now, the way the middle schools are hiding out in classrooms and doing stuff, getting suspended off the bus from dealing with high school. I mean, like that. You gotta catch. They get it. Like I hear them talking. I'd be like, he said he already did that. I'm like, bro, what?
What?
Like, oh yeah, he dating her now. They are, and they switch up boyfriend and girlfriend every 5 seconds. I'm like, damn, you dating somebody new already? He's like, oh
Man,
yeah, he already. I said,
what is going on here?
I said, and like you said, what are we gonna do with our kids, man? I got a girl, and I'm.
It's a double standard. It's a double standard.
It
It's a double
is.
standard.
It's tough. And
Yeah.
like it is because you might have a son like, oh yeah, you did the thing. Oh, okay. But
Yeah, but you gotta be realistic too, though. I
yeah,
feel
but
like
you come with baby.
I feel like we gotta have conversations so much earlier than we need to, because that conversation comes with a lot of maturity. It's like, are you mature enough? Are you? No, they're not. Their kids are naive, man. They can
Mm,
tell one and not the other. You know what's going to happen, but you cannot stop yourself from talking. Some kids are going to sink. Most kids is not, realistically. And it's like, yo, I got to have this conversation with my kid at 9. You know how immature he is. He's like, Dad, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to care. I don't care. I don't want to hear it.
you
I
got
gotta,
to.
I gotta hammer it in you every day, because if I don't say anything, you're just gonna be pressured into it. Your friends more than anything.
Hmm.
Not even the girls. Your friends more than anything. You know what I mean? And I
Especially as a
think,
man.
oh yeah, man. No man wants to hold that card forever. You know what I mean? It's the
You ain't
longer
did that yet.
you gonna
Like,
start
come
lying
on,
about
bro.
it. Yeah. Come come on, man.
Like,
Oh
yeah, man,
God.
I've been did that, man. What it feel like, man? You know what it feel like, man. We just
They got them questioning you. Oh, you gotta lie some more. Like, come on,
like,
man.
like, chill out, man. Chill out. Who was it with, man? She don't go to the school, man.
Y'all don't even know who she is, bro. Y'all don't even know where was you at. Who was outside. Oh no, how old? She's like 16, 16. Oh, she's just making up dumb stuff, man. God.
I be playing with the kids today. He's like, oh yeah, I date somebody different. I said, you don't got a girlfriend. Like, you lying, bro. I know what it is. You ain't got to lie to me, bro. I've been there, done that, bro. Come on. You ain't got to lie to me, bro.
Yeah, man, and it's okay, bro, and it's okay. That's why peer pressure sucks, and it's just like everybody thinks you have to do stuff now, and peer pressure makes you speed your process up, and you end up somewhere you don't need to be. And it's like, oh, come on, bro. It's okay to tell the truth, because guess what? All the other kids are probably in the same boat as you. And trust me, man, you don't. Hey, bro, you don't want to be. You don't want to be whipped that early, dog. You hey, keep your mind straight, dog. Just give it a second. Just give yourself because your mind.
Yeah,
Once that happens, bro, you're going to shift from video games to basketball, football, or whatever else. Oh God, girls. You all over the place. You're not focused.
lost.
Yeah, man. It's we're setting our kids up for failure,
Yeah.
man. And sometimes they they always say the music industry leads most entertainment. And
Hmm.
I remember we was laughing about this at the gym. Her beat was fire, but Sexy Red is not helping right now. Remember we was laughing about it. I was like, man, I like this beat though, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's not helping, man. It's not helping. It was funny, but
And
it's not helping.
yeah, and that peer pressure is worldwide now. It's not just your friends; it's the whole world.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely
And
so.
so it's just up to us, man. Me and you, other men like us,
For sure.
and parents together, marriages, all that, to really hone in and focus our kids. And even though our parents did that, we still, I know I wilded out. Like I said, I started at 23. So I wilded out. I did all that stuff, but I came back because I had that foundation.
Yeah.
It's all about laying the foundation. And that's why we're here, bro. We're laying that foundation.
Definitely so,
Man,
man. Definitely so.
yes, sir.
Agreed.
This is episode 92. I hope everybody stay blessed.